Welcome to the Justice Pro Network's Daily Deep Dive in 5, where we bring you the stories that matter in advocacy, impact, and justice. I'm Aisha.
And I'm Aiden. Today we've got 3 important stories to discuss. Trump's controversial comments on port traffic decline, essential insights on green card revocation, and Stephen Miller's alarming call to suspend habeas corpus. Let's dive right in.
First up, President Trump has sparked outrage among port workers with his recent comments about declining port traffic. During a press conference, he claimed that less port activity means America loses less money, specifically referencing China making over $1 trillion.
Yeah, that comment didn't sit well with many people, especially those whose livelihoods depend on port traffic. Senator Mark Warner quickly countered Trump's claim, pointing out that dock workers and truck drivers see this slowdown as harmful to their jobs.
The business community seemed equally shocked. Some financial leaders even responded with embarrassed emoji replies on social media. It really highlights the disconnect between political rhetoric and the economic realities facing workers.
Absolutely. This raises serious questions about how we measure economic health and who gets to define what makes a successful economy. The voices of those directly impacted by these policies, the workers themselves, need to be heard in these conversations.
Moving on to our second story, let's talk about green card revocation, which is incredibly important information for immigration attorneys to understand.
Right. A green card allows foreign nationals to live and work permanently in the U.S., but this status can be revoked under certain circumstances. Common reasons include criminal convictions, failure to maintain residency, or misrepresenting information during the application process.
The revocation process typically begins with a formal notice from U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services outlining the reasons. Understanding how to respond to this notice and potentially appeal, it is critical for attorneys helping their clients navigate this situation.
And we can't overlook the human impact of losing a green card. Many individuals face family separation, job insecurity, and significant emotional distress. Immigration attorneys need to understand these social implications to effectively advocate for their clients.
It's definitely a complex area that requires staying informed about potential policy changes too, especially with ongoing discussions about immigration reform.
Our final story today is perhaps the most concerning from a constitutional perspective. Stephen Miller, an advisor to President Trump, recently suggested that suspending habeas corpus could be a legal option for managing migration issues.
That's incredibly alarming. For those who may not know, habeas corpus is a fundamental legal principle that protects against arbitrary detention. It ensures that no one can be imprisoned without due cause, which is essential for preventing government overreach.
Exactly. This right has only been suspended 4 times in U.S. history, during extraordinary circumstances like the Civil War and after Pearl Harbor. Legal experts have strongly criticized Miller's suggestion, including Joyce Vance, who pointed out that such a measure would jeopardize the rights of not just immigrants, but potentially U.S. citizens as well.
Many legal scholars have also emphasized that the power to suspend habeas corpus belongs to Congress under Article 1 of the Constitution, not the President under Article 2. Patrick Giacomo specifically highlighted this distinction.
The potential consequences would be severe: widespread imprisonment without the right to challenge detention in court. History has shown us the dangers of unchecked governmental authority in situations where habeas corpus has been suspended previously.
This really is a moment that calls for vigilance. The protection of individual rights and the rule of law are fundamental to our democracy. Civil rights attorneys are urging colleagues and the public to recognize and challenge threats to these principles.
That's right. Due process must be defended not for political gain, but because it's essential to the foundation of justice in our democracy.
Well, that's our Daily Deep Dive in 5 for today. Thanks for joining us as we explored these important stories from the Justice Pro Network.
If you want to learn more about any of today's topics, visit justicepronetwork.com. We'll be back Monday with more stories of advocacy, impact, and justice. I'm Aiden.
And I'm Aisha. Thanks for listening to the Justice Pro Network's Daily Deep Dive in 5. See you Monday.